The papers for you this morning. Some of the front pages. The Times says the European leaders have pledged to open a vaccination passport scheme to British travellers in time for this summer. According to a paper, a proposal for a digital green pass will be put forward by the European Commission to kickstart tourism by the end of June.
The Daily Telegraph reports that the number of over 80s being admitted to intensive care units with COVID has fallen to single figures as a result of the vaccine rollout.
I'll show you the Metro. They're leading on Prince Philip after he was moved to a specialist hospital for tests on his heart.
And also, these beautiful pictures of penguins are from a story which is featured on BBC News Online about filmmaker Stefan Christmann, who spent 2 winters, look at them, taking images of a 10,000-strong colony of emperor penguins in Antarctica.
Nice pics, aren't they? Now, touchy-feeliness, Louise. Right, we've moved a fair old distance away from each other. We're not great huggers, are we?
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not in the last year, and not even before.
No, this is a very interesting article about sort of hugging and touching and reuniting with each other once with the other side of this.
I've got a reuniting story. Go on.
Have you? In a recent poll, 59% of people questioned whether they would greet each other with a kiss in the future or even hug, even have a handshake for fear of spreading germs.
Yeah.
Now, the whole point of this is they're saying that, yes, that might actually reduce the sort of spreading of germs and things like that, but the knock-on effect, the negative side of not having that touching and feeling will actually have a huge impact on people's blood pressure, stress levels and feelings of pain as well. They said people who reported having received touch more recently tended to report higher levels of well-being and feeling less lonely, which is quite obvious. So, if you're one of those people thinking you're never going to hug again, you might have to think about other areas of your life it might have an impact on.
This is I think it's because the rules are changing. We know that schools start going back. I know they're all there already, but to all pupils from March the 8th. Lots of people thinking also about going back to the office. And the Telegraph, I'm sure we'll see lots more like this, are talking about how to get your office mojo back. Because, you know, it is lots of people they're reporting saying feeling anxious about going back. And these are ways they suggest of sort of easing your way in. The commute, plan your journey in advance, because obviously there'll be changes to perhaps your commute and the way that the on the trains, etc. There might be ways, for security, etc. The clothes, plan your clothes.
Right.
Yep. After a year of living in tracksuits, organisation is key. They recommend laying out your outfit the night before to avoid last-minute flap. And also about safety measures, because there'll be lots of different safety measures. And they're talking about, perhaps, think a little bit about that as well. Have you forgotten small talk? Have you forgotten how to make conversation?
These are important questions, Louise.
Yes, beyond the supermarket checkout. Remember, it says here, you are not the only one. Don't worry about making small talk or overthinking it. Keep your conversations light and positive, Dan. Yeah, and also, I mean, these will be. It's not just for people going back into the office. It's for children going back to school as well. The overwhelm they talk about, being back in a noisy office, may come as a bit of a shock. So they recommend, for example, giving yourself a bit of space, perhaps go and eat lunch alone, have a quick breather.
You know what caught me out yesterday? I haven't worn a suit for 2 weeks. I've got to say, it was a little tight around the trouser area yesterday. So I think I might have overcaked.
Maybe try on your clothes as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky. I feel lucky that we've been able to work throughout this whole thing. So, there's definitely, people feeling anxious about changes.
Yeah, and fully understandable as well. So very good advice there.